How's it, guys? It's Davey FPL and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. This live stream is going to be a bit of a weird one. It's a Friday evening or early Saturday morning or Friday afternoon, wherever you guys are around the world, but this is going to revolve around game week 28. We are approaching sort of the end game for FPL, so let's see how these last few weeks can kind of be good to us or be terrible to us. And I have 3 free transfers. I've used no transfers, so locking in probably 3 free transfers in this deadline stream to potentially change the team quite a bit. So we'll be getting through your questions, we'll be getting through my questions, and hopefully it's going to be a pretty good stream. I doubt we get any early team sheet news. I don't even know if you guys care about it tonight, but I guess that's the good thing about only having one fixture on a Friday. No team news about tomorrow, so we're going to make the moves a little bit blind. So let me know how you guys are doing. Nice to have a stream on a Friday, I guess. It allows the weekend to be a bit more free-flowing, but I do appreciate you guys joining me. A bit of an awkward time as mentioned. Let me just get everything right here. You guys can let me know if the audio and the video look and sound good. I'd appreciate that. Just lets me know that everything is looking like we can rock and roll with this live stream. And let me just set up everything, bring up chat. And yeah, sorry if I seem a bit all over the place. I just came back from work, so that is always fun, and straight into streaming. So let's hope it's a good stream, energetic stream, and answering your questions as usual and locking in my team. So we had an early question from Fanta saying, how's it, Davey? Please help. I need a Chalobah replacement, 0.0 in the bank, 1 free transfer. So would help a little bit if you told me how much his selling price is, but I'll just go and check how much Chalobah is, and then I'll kind of pick an option that's around the same price. So he comes in around 5.7. Let's just do 5.6. I mean, O'Reilly is there, but I feel like with this kind of rotation, you might not want to go for him. I like Senesi. I like the Brentford defenders. They look pretty good. If you don't have an Anderson, he's also pretty safe. Konate is there. I don't know. Konate's fine. I mean, if you don't have Virgil, Konate could also be pretty good, but I might go for the better fixtures. So I think it would probably be Senesi. Let me actually just check here quick. So Anderson's there. Konate's up there as well. Senesi's okay. I'd say probably between Senesi and Konate. I would have said O'Reilly, but with that Champions League draw, it's not looking too good for Man City and their sort of assets. So that is something to take into account if you guys are looking to go for a Man City asset now, like a Semenyo. Is if you guys don't know, Man City got drawn against Real Madrid, and the 2 games are penciled before and after West Ham. And it's a Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday deadline. So usually what happens there is your players on a Saturday do get a bit of rotation. So an O'Reilly, even a Haaland could be rotated in that West Ham game. Your Semenyos could also be. So does throw a bit of a span in the works. So because they even blank in 31, I don't even know if I'd be going for Man City assets now. So that's why I would recommend maybe going for a Timber or going for... no, not Timber, Senesi or Konate. I don't know where Timber sort of came in. Okay, Davem is saying Timber and Mukiele to Virgil van Dijk and Neko. 4 free chances and easy. So, Neko Williams. I'm just confirming there that we are talking about the same player. So Van Dijk's okay. Van Dijk's fine. Neko... I don't know about. Yeah, I don't know about Neko Williams, but yeah, that's just mine. Why not go for Konate? So Vernon's already mentioned that. Siddharth is saying, let's go pants up. Rohit is saying, how's it, Davey? Hope you're well. Big dilemma. Why? Who should I sell first for Virgil van Dijk, O'Reilly or Munoz? I'd sell Munoz. I'd keep O'Reilly because if O'Reilly plays, he's just looking really good. And Sade over Dango for Rice. Already own Wilson. Good luck. I think I still would go... I mean, Sade's a punt. I do feel like both of them are punts. The only reason why Sade's not popular is that he was benched, and it might seem like he's integrated into the squad slowly. I think he starts, but how many minutes he gets is unknown. It just depends on how Brentford approach that kind of coming back from suspension. It's not like he's coming back from an injury, But we have seen Brentford assets kind of take a while to get fully integrated back into the team. That's the only concern with Sade. But yeah, it's a punt. I can't say it's a guarantee that he's going to score more points than Dango. And that's why you might as well just go for the cheaper option. But it's up to you. I mean, Sade will have lower ownership, I feel. Okay, there's a few people having conversations in the chat. You guys can, that's good. It's good that you guys discuss with each other. Thanks, Devem, for saying loud and clear. Harry Pierce is saying, how's it, Evie? Which Brentford defender would you go for? I think it has to be Vandenberg. Because other than that, I don't know how... Because Collins now is rotated right, but there was an injury. So you should be okay, but I think it's Vandenberg is the safest option to sort of look at. What do you do for work, Gia? I'm in data science consulting. So I'm basically like a data scientist. Hey, Davey, what's the transfer plan? Okay, the transfer plan is a mega one this week. So basically, we have 3 free transfers, and I'm looking to go for Thiago up front. So let me maybe go onto the transfer page, and then let me just see if you guys can see this. Okay, you guys can. So basically, I've got 0.0 in the bank, which is not the best, and 3 free transfers. I'm going to just put it back behind the clock. So the thing is, with Verts out, I know it might dampen that Liverpool attack, but it makes me almost want to keep Ekitike even more because he's the main focal point for Liverpool, definitely. And Szoboszlai is also pretty good if you guys do want to keep Szoboszlai. So Ekitike, I want to keep him. So that means I have to take Mark Guehi out. And that's going to be Thiago, but now I need 3 mil, which is a pretty hefty fee. Now, the main cash cows I have are Mbeumo or Rice, but I kind of want to keep Mbeumo a little bit more, and therefore Rice will be my transfer out. Now, if you guys have to keep Rice, that's okay, because I think he's going to tick along nicely. And I feel like he's an okay pick, but with a blank coming up, that sort of thing, it almost gives me a reason to take him out, and I need an option to replace. So you guys can see I've got 5.3 here, which isn't too great. So I'm also going to take Enzo out. So in terms of combinations of players I can go for one of Dango or Wilson, and then I've got 5.0 to spend. Now this could be Lafie, but I kind of feel like I'm going to go for Dewsbury Hall, and that's because Dewsbury Hall has this lovely, you guys can just see it, it's Burnley at home here in game week 29, so that's next week. So I don't need Dewsbury Hall, I can just bench him and then play him next week when Anderson has Man City. So just showing there, Anderson, Man City 29, I'd probably just bench him then and then play Dewsbury Hall. So that's 0.0 in the bank. So that's all my transfers used. Now the question is, do I go for Dango or do I go for Wilson? And that's what I've been contemplating. I can't, like, this is such a 50-50 for me. I don't exactly know which side to swing. And maybe I'll put a poll in chat. So if you guys see this what I've sort of been speaking about, if you guys could only choose one, would it be Wilson or would it be Dango? I'm going to put this as a poll and you guys can let me know your thoughts. So the Nightmare, that's my transfer plan basically. Do you think Raul Jimenez is a good forward option? So there's a lot of talk about Raul Jimenez and Munas potentially rotating, and that's why he's an okay option. But I don't know, I might just try and stack midfield then. I don't think I would go for another forward. I'd just go for another player in midfield. So maybe go for a Wilson instead of a Raul Jimenez, basically. Zakira saying, would you take a -4 for Thiago taking Pedro out or wait till next week? That's tough. So sensibly, it's probably wait, but I think I would just roll the dice here. I mean, João Pedro is Arsenal and Thiago is Burnley. I mean, it's literally the worst fixture versus the best fixture, and my risk-taking mind is I would just do it. I think that you can get away with that -4. How's it, Harry? Nice to see you in the stream. Tahai saying, how did Davey start Rice or Tavernier? That is interesting. it's probably Rice, just from a safety point of view. Like Tavernier's minutes are going to be limited, I'd say. Chadokon saying, hi Davey, I'm doing Enzo to Harry Wilson, but for defense, I've got Gabriel, Theo, and Anderson, and goalkeepers Ray. Do I need to bring in Virgil? Can I wait till next week? Do you have a free transfer? If you have a free transfer, then it might make sense. But if you don't, I wouldn't take a hit, and your defense is okay. I don't think it's like perfect. That's why if you can get a Virgil, maybe try. But if it's going to ruin your team, then I agree with you, Chad. You can just let it go. It seems like Wirtz is out if I'm... Yeah, Giroud, I just worry about the quick turnaround. So if he doesn't play this weekend, it's not a guarantee that he's fit for game week 29. So I probably would say I would take him out. Juan is saying Keen Munoz Sarr to Virgil O'Reilly Rayan, or Keen Enzo Sarr to Virgil Dango Rayan. I think the Virgil Dango Rayan looks slightly exciting, but one, you don't have to take Sarr out. I don't think Sarr's a bad option. But if it's a free transfer, I guess it kind of makes sense to do it. I like O'Reilly, and I think he could tick along really nicely. I just worry about that potential rotation in the West Ham game, which will be annoying. Apologize. It was Timber and Mukiele to Virgil van Dijk and Nico O'Reilly. 4 points. 4 free transfers and easily have 11 for 31. Okay. Yeah, if you have easily 11, you got a lot of free transfers, it's okay. But just, Devim, remember that West Ham game might have rotation. So just maybe look at your team for that week. And if it looks like O'Reilly might be benched, just make sure that you have a good bench coverage. And then I agree with you, it's okay. Paniota saying, hello, I left a lot of points on the bench the last week. 20 points. That's unlucky. And I want to make sure I get it right this week. Would you play Rice or Wilson? I'm thinking about playing Wilson. Any thoughts? Okay. So Paniotas, you might have points again because Rice and Wilson are both good options. I would probably agree that Rice is more on like the lower end of potential, but the thing is in these tighter games, if that Chelsea game is quite tight, it could be a long shot or something from a Rice that wins it. So, I mean, it's always a risk benching a player from a quality team. So, but I think the potential of Wilson might be slightly higher. Osama saying, hello from Pakistan. Is it worth doing a -4 for Wilson or Dango in and Palmer or Rice out? I don't think it's worth the -4. I would just keep what you have. That's what I would probably say. Will Sup, bro, thoughts on Stash as a low price alternative? Yeah, so he's fine, especially if you're looking at maybe not wildcarding 32, because it looks like Leeds will potentially have a double in 33, so you're kind of setting yourself up anyways. I don't love the Leeds fixtures for the next few, but I think they're okay. Would you do João Pedro to Thiago? Harry, yes, I definitely would. Yeah, so Sadat is saying you already have Thiago, so go for Watson. So Sadat, that's the safe play, because exactly what you're saying, I've already covered Brentford. Let me go for another good fixture team. However, if I feel like Brentford are good enough, doubling up might be more differential, and it might be like putting all my eggs in one basket and might be more risky, but more returns. So that's currently. Will Gordon want blood versus Everton? I don't know. That Newcastle team, and I said this in the team selection, if you guys saw the game, I think they were 8-1 up on aggregate, and Eddie Howe subbed like Hall on in the 54th minute. Like, you're not going to lose 8-1 aggregate. So like, I was wishing that Hall got rested for the whole game. So he should be fine against Everton, and he's playing up front. Riyadh is saying, watching from China, lovely to hear a Cape Town voice. Unfortunately, I'm from Gauteng, Riyadh, but it's a South African voice, I guess. But hopefully you're enjoying China. It must be pretty late for you there. I do apologize. Hopefully the voice isn't boring you at this stage. Andy's saying, I can do the same, but then I have Ndai and Pedro. Have 0.3 extra, so I could keep Ndai and bring in Tavernier instead of KDH. Andy, if you have Ndai, I would keep him because he has Burnley next week. So I had this question over on Discord, and people want to take out Ndai. I would just keep him for that Burnley game. But obviously, if you can't afford other things. Oh, Dave, I think you misread my comment. I meant that point as a side point here. Okay, let me just check. Okay, thinking of going Haaland to Thiago and Enzo. Okay, no, sorry, I didn't even see your question. Okay, thinking of going Haaland to Thiago and Enzo to Salah. With Wirtz out, we could see Salah back to somewhat of his best, and City could see lots of rotation. Thoughts on this? I don't mind it, and that's purely because let's say Haaland gets rotated against West Ham. Then basically, the schedule is going to be Leeds, Nottingham Forest, which is okay. Like, Nottingham Forest aren't terrible, but I can still see Man City winning there. But then if he gets benched against West Ham, and then blanks, and then Chelsea, it could be sensible. So I don't mind it. What I would say is that I would only do it if you want to captain Salah in the majority of weeks. If you don't want to captain Salah, I think it's okay to just keep Haaland. And if you want to captain, I mean, I'm captaining Haaland at this stage, so, you know, he's still a good option. Milos is saying, boss, what transfers to prioritize? Sanchez to Petrovic or another goalkeeper? Play Anderson midfield or Enzo to Wilson and bench Anderson. So I never really like goalkeeper transfers. I think if you have something to sort out, rather do that. Anderson this week isn't a bad option, but I would say Enzo to Wilson / Dango is better for me. That's what I'd say. Bo, yeah, so that's the exact same for any player. The only reason why Man City is highlighted is that I feel like their clash is a lot harder than other teams. So like I didn't mention Newcastle because not a lot of us do own Newcastle assets, but exactly, they're the same with that Barcelona clash. I can see them rotating. Liverpool against Galatasaray, still tough game, but let's just say that they have a good result in the first game. We might see some rotation second game. It's just that with Real Madrid and Man City, I can feel like that's a little bit of a tighter clash. And also those games are quite close together. But I think Arsenal have the same schedule. So it's also Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday. So Arsenal assets also at a risk. And that's why maybe even with Rice, it's a better option to take him out because I don't really mind. But yeah, exactly the same. Good point. Like all your teams are in and around there. It's just I think Man City and Arsenal have that tight schedule of Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday. Harry says, my team is in a shocking state. Back is Virgil van Dijk, Timber, Richards, Munoz, and Van Dijk. Okay. So in terms of your team, I think Anderson makes sense. He's got some good fixtures coming up. So maybe a Richards to Anderson. That automatically improves it. But it doesn't look the worst. I think Virgil van Dijk, Timber, Munoz, that's an okay back three. Look, I think Munoz concedes, but he could get some attacking threat. But I don't think that's like... I think it's a terrible defense. But like Richards to Anderson next week could make it look a little bit better. Yeah, Glenn. So that's like the sensible thing is to not put all your eggs in one basket and to go for Wilson and see how it goes. But I'm almost tempted with Dango because I feel like the Burnley game this week is a big one. Existence is saying, hey, Davey, what's the plan today? Just a Rice transfer. So it's the 3 transfers I've put on screen here. So if I do make transfers, okay, you guys can't see, you can just see them. It's these 3 transfers. So Rice to Wilson or Dango, Enzo to Dewsbury Hall, Mark Guehi to Thiago. So these are the 3 transfers I'm planning on doing. So it's not just the 1, it's the 3. Will saying another question, 2 free transfers. Would you take a hit for your moves? As seems strongest in my case with is Thiago / stash in for Guehi and Rice. With Guehi out, I have 4.8 in the bank. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying to think if it's worth the -4 because your -4 would what be Enzo. Your -4 would be Enzo to Wilson, and then instead of stack, you could go for another option. So that -4 might actually be worth it because you're upgrading 2 positions instead of just 1. Just come back to me on that one. Ty the Footy Guy's been a member for 48 months. Absolutely insane. That is 4 years. That's more than a Hattie. 4. Absolutely insane, Ty. I just appreciate the support. I mean, 4 years is basically how long I've been doing YouTube almost. So you've been one of the OGs. So do appreciate that one. I'll give you some houses in chat. Siddharth saying, Dilemma, need a bench one, Wilson, Dango, Anderson, or Soboslai. Bench Anderson. I think out of those 3, he's got the lowest potential. Would you get Tavernier in if you could afford it? It would be interesting. I think I would probably if I could afford it. Wouldn't surprise me though if he's still getting back to fitness. And the concern there is he plays on Saturday and then, or plays on Sunday, plays midweek. So is he going to get the majority of minutes there? I don't know. But yeah. Tyler Footy Guy saying, much love, Davey. I do appreciate the support as mentioned. Shout out again to you, one of the OGs. As TC saying, also one of the OGs. Have you made your transfers? Jag saying, I've not made my transfers. Thoughts on Soboslai? So with Frimpong back, it seems like he was training the majority of this week. So I would probably say he's fine to start. So with him playing right back, it means Soboslai can now play forward. And with the absence of Wirtz, he's going to play number 10, and that could be advantageous to you owners. So I like Soboslai. Oh, so literally, as I said, T-Spice is also an OG. 46 months as a legend member. So absolutely insane, guys. Thanks for dropping these subscriptions. So nice to have a couple of OGs in the chat. Do appreciate you guys. And then Will comes in with his 49 months. So he's coming in with one-upping everyone, so more than a year. And also, he is asking a question. So yeah, the additional move to take a -4 feels like it could be Enzo to Wilson. Okay, so as I was saying, if you take Enzo to Wilson, could you now afford someone more expensive than Stash? Because Enzo's more expensive than Wilson. So can you afford someone like a Dango now? That would be pretty good. And now BL's coming in with 21 months as a member. So we are getting those membership renewals today. And I do appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support. No membership under a year. So just actually probably makes sense because of the rank this season. So I don't think I would subscribe as well this season. But you guys. And then Sadarth comes in with 48 months. So that's the 4-year anniversary. So 2 4-year anniversaries. Absolutely insane. I should have bought the champagne for you guys. I should have preempted it, but yeah, all love in the chat for the OGs. Do appreciate you guys. And BL, all I've missed my queue. I'll go and check it out. Okay, yeah, it's just above the last one. Sorry, I was busy doing the subscriptions before that. I have one free transfer, JP and Enzo out for -4. Have no Liverpool. What do you recommend? Thanks a lot. João Pedro out and Enzo out. Okay. I think this one is pretty like JP to Thiago. Do you have Thiago BL? Otherwise, JP to Thiago. And then I would do Enzo like myself. Enzo to Dango or Enzo to Wilson. Between Dango and Wilson, it's super close. But the JP move I can understand. And for a -4, I think you can do it this week with the fixture swings. As mentioned, like Arsenal have the tough, like Chelsea have the toughest game, Arsenal. And then these other assets have easier fixtures. So might as well just do the -4. Cami saying, got a horrible benching dilemma. Bench 2, Munoz, Tavernier, Anderson, or Kruppi. Yeah, that is tough. I think you bench Anderson. It's Anderson, and then it's either Tavernier or Kruppi. I'd probably say Kruppi. So I would play Munoz and Tavernier. Best defender to bring in for Timber, Virgil van Dijk if you don't have him. If you do have Virgil, then it goes down the list. It goes to cheaper options like an Anderson, a Senesi, a Vandenberg. Those are all pretty okay. Please help. Okay, let me go check Jag. I'll also answer Navada, who also wrote in chat, for your team with 3 free transfers, JP to Thiago, Enzo to Dango, and then I think you're good. Okay, Jag, you have 3 free transfers as well. Okay, you already have Wilson. Okay, you have Minte, surprisingly. Your team looks good. I think what you can do is, I would do Timber to Virgil. I would do Minte. I'd do Minte to Dango and just go triple up. I'd go for the fixtures. Yeah, Minte to Dango and Timber to Van Dijk. And then I think your team looks okay. I'd probably play Anderson over Alderete then. Yeah, so only use your 2 free transfers. Thanks, Cami. Do appreciate it. Samde saying, thoughts on Rice and Enzo to Semenyo and Dango. Yeah, so I like Semenyo, but as mentioned, with the Real Madrid draw, there might be rotation as long as you accept that. The next 2 look good though, so I have Thiago, says BL. Okay. Can you get Ekatike? That'd be pretty okay. Best, start Sanchez or Dubravka? Damn, that's a tough one. Milos, let me maybe look at projected points for you. It's probably not going to be too exciting though. Okay, so you want to know between... Sorry, I just dropped my phone. Sanchez and Dubravka. Okay, Dubravka's slightly above him. Let me just check if I've answered everyone. Ryan saying, would you captain Rodgers if you owned him? No, I wouldn't captain Rodgers. I would captain Haaland. This is kind of my order. I'd captain Haaland, Bruno, / Salah. I'd say those options. What do you think about Lafie? Lafie's okay. I mean, Sunderland aren't the most high-scoring team, but he's a cheap option on penalties. He's fine. What's the plan today? Christian, the plan is these transfers. So Rice to Wilson or Dango, I haven't decided yet, but then Enzo to Dewsbury Hall, Mark Gayu to Thiago. So we're going to do a formational switch to a 3-4-3, and I've got 0.0 in the bank, so that's why I'm going for Dewsbury Hall if you have any questions. But let me go and bring up these projected numbers. Let's see. Okay, wait, actually, let me just open up the image. That'll make it a bit easier. Okay, I don't want to bring the... Okay, cool. So as always, these are from Rob TFPL. I did this in the team selection, so these numbers have been updated slightly. We're still Liverpool at the top at 2.32, so that's why pretty keen on keeping Ekatike as a forward option. United also looking okay, 2.04. Man City at 1.96. The only thing about them is the goal share. So do you think Bruno has a higher goal share than a Haaland does? Don't exactly know. And then Arsenal also looking pretty good. So like, could Declan Rice come back to bite us? Maybe. But yeah, 2 goals projected for them. Bournemouth also the highest out of those sort of mid-range teams. So Brentford, Bournemouth, and Fulham are all around that 1.7 mark. But Brentford and Bournemouth have a slight edge. Understandable though, as Fulham are playing Spurs and Brentford are playing Burnley. So yeah, those Bournemouth assets actually do look enticing. If Tavernier was more nailed, I think he'd be quite an exciting pick. But yeah, as mentioned in the team selection, the matchups this week are super good. If you look at every sort of matchup, there's a definite favorite. So this week could be an absolute banger, even for you guys tonight with those Villa assets. I mean, 1.7 to 1, both your defense and your attack is looking okay. So game week 28 could be a banger game week. I'm going to leave these up for now. I think in terms of benching decisions, this might be quite close. For example, you're asking about, do you start Sanchez or Burnley's Dubravka? Slight edge to Dubravka. But yeah, basically both of them are going to concede, it looks like. Also some high clean sheet odds. Not sort of a definite clean sheet, but a few teams in and around a chance. Let's call it that, a chance. No worries, Zingy. I remembered when he scored. I was like, I swear there was someone in the deadline stream that was asking about him. So I'm glad he banged for you. Philippe is saying, hello, Davey, with a bomb. And then saying Semenyo. Yeah, so Semenyo's okay. The next two are good. As mentioned, though, blank in 31, which there's a chance they might actually still have a fixture in 31. But then there might be rotation in the West Ham game because it's in between the two Real Madrid fixtures. Rice to Soboslai from -4. I'd probably just keep Rice. Soboslai or Rice, I think Sobo. Especially if he plays in the number 10 slot, which it looks like he might. Adam B saying Plonkabok, Gaza Davy. Krippy, Enzo, and Timber transfer to Thiago, Anderson, and Dango. Yeah, those moves look good. I like those moves. Even for a -4, I think in the next few it should pay off. James Pearson with a super chat saying, who's better for the next 3 weeks? Thiago or Ekatike? I think you go Thiago. I like Ekatike, but I think if I had to choose between one or the other, I think it's Thiago. Just honestly. That's what I'd say. I can't afford Thiago except if I do a -4. Do it or get Dango. I think Thiago is the priority. So even if it is a -4, as long as it's not ruining your team, I think it's okay. Oscar Bob, too crazy a punt. Girid, yeah, I haven't seen much about Oscar Bob. So I think there's other punts you could take. For example, Will's mentioning Rayan. Yeah, Rayan is also looks like a good option. There's some uncertainty as he's not completely nailed or he's not completely used to the Prem, but I feel like he should get a majority of minutes and he looks like a quality player. I'd effectively taking Enzo out from -4 for Dewsbury Hall. Thoughts would, but it would keep. Yeah, okay. Dewsbury Hall's not as exciting, Will, as going for like a Wilson or a Dango. But yeah, Dewsbury Hall's okay, but if you only then I don't know if like taking Enzo out to Dewsbury Hall this week is worth a -4. But yeah, I agree that the second point, but it would enable Wilson. Yeah, I think the -4 is worth it then. Best 4.5 under defender. Okay, so Philippe, just let me know. Can they be 4.5? If they can be 4.5, then it's Anderson. Do you own Anderson? If you don't own Anderson, then I can recommend other players. I actually just remembered that someone asked me about their team. Let me just confirm. Okay. Yes, I own Anderson. Okay, then I think Vandenberg. Go for Vandenberg. He's 4.5. That's what I would recommend. Easy, Davey. What's your plan? The one, it's going to be 3 free transfers for Thiago in. Dango / Wilson and then Dewsbury Hall probably. I'm pretty keen on those moves, to be honest. I haven't really gone off them. The only thing I'm debating is Wilson Dango. That's still in my mind. .3 short of those moves. Any ideas on what to do? Let me check how much. Okay, so if you 0.3 short, go for Stash. Go for Statch from Leeds and not Dewsbury Hall. That's basically that. Goalkeepers to consider, it's Kelleher, Petrovic. I think those two are the main ones. You can also look at like a Leno then, because everyone's looking at Fulham. But I probably would go Kelleher or Petrovic. Do I bench Rayan or Ekatike? Surely though it's not the same without Verts. I kind of feel like you have to play Ekatike if you have him. Who has lower ownership of Dango / Wilson? Surely you want to go lowish. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. I think Dango has lower ownership because Wilson always has been destroying my rank. Vernon saying, I'm torn Enzo for Semenyo and Ndiaye to Dango or Rayan. Or should I prioritize O'Reilly? I don't have Thiago. I don't think I'd prioritize O'Reilly. He's a great option, but I don't think he's a priority. Enzo to Semenyo looks okay, but yet again, these Man City options, as long as you accept the risk of West Ham rotation and a blank, then it is what it is. But yeah, I think Enzo out is probably a higher priority then. And as mentioned, Ndiaye has Burnley at home next week, which is, I would just keep him for that. Is Evan Nielsen a hold or should I replace him with Thiago? Sabi, I'd go Thiago. I understand this week it might be close, but I think over the long run, Thiago's the better sort of FPL asset. Can't get Ekatike without a hit. Should I disregard him and do Rice and Enzo to Wilson and Mbumo? Yeah, I think if you can't get to him, I don't think Ekatike is 100% like you have to get him. I mean, the majority of people don't own him. Ekatike is a bit of a differential amongst the sort of engaged managers. So I don't think he's an essential pick. So you don't have to go for him if it's going to be for a hit. And you're going to like ruin your team because he is quite expensive. Would you bring in Keller for Sanchez? I will have to do a -4 and 31 if so. I mean, if it's for free this week, then it's okay. But yeah, I don't like goalkeeper transfers too much, but if you have to take a hit for a goalkeeper in 31, then yeah, it's okay. And Kelle's got good games. Rice to Wilson or Soboslai. I already have Enzo to... Okay, Rice to Wilson or Soboslai have 2 free transfers. You can always just keep Rice if you want to. If you have no Liverpool coverage, Soboslai is okay, but Wilson's also pretty good. Maybe just look at what you need in the future, like your future moves, because Soboslai is a bit more expensive than Wilson or Dango is. Nanad, thanks. I'm trying to catch up, but it's still a long way to go. Let me go back to my team. Sorry. So this is looking like the team we're gonna go for. I'm still deciding between Wilson and... Okay, let me end this poll. I'm gonna end the poll and I'm gonna do the exact same poll just in case new people have joined. And I'm going to swap the order and see if that makes a difference. Okay, you guys can vote again. Dango or Wilson? Let me know what you think. For me, that's super close. Let me just check Twitter for early team sheet news. We do have about 18 minutes to go. Okay. I don't see anything as of now. Yeah, I don't see any early team sheet news, but I mean, I don't think it's the most essential anyways. Okay, actually, sorry, I was in the middle of checking ownership. Yeah, he does perform, but I'm looking to maybe wildcard before that. So I don't know if it will have too much of an impact. Let me just check stats. I wanted to see ownership, effective ownership. But there have been more transfers now this week. Okay, so Wilson. Okay, Dango is owned by far less. But Wilson in the top 10k is about 10% anyway. So it's not like both of them are super highly owned. In terms of like overall ownership, one is 21% and one's 2.6. So that's pretty low between them. Extra involvement 0, 0.5, 0.7, 1. And Wilson was 0.3, 0.3, 0.2. So Wilson ticks along nicely, but I think Dango's the better numbers, right? Per 90, 0.36. Dango. Yeah, 0.45. So I mean, Dango's slightly ahead, but I guess we do own Thiago already, so it's like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, Wilson is even more. 73% of you are voting for him now. Andy saying, should I do Pedro and Dyer owners just do 2 subs this game week and stay with the 2 up front? Yeah, so Pedro to Thiago makes sense. And I would keep Ndai for the double. So I think it would be Pedro and Enzo out. That's what I would do, Andy. Who's the captain? I've got captaincy on Haaland for now. So 2 massive decisions ahead of us. Actually, okay, let me end. Yeah, I'll show you the team, but we have to lock and move. So I haven't done any transfers yet. Okay, let me end this poll, and then you guys can tell me who you're captaining. Who's a captaincy option this week? I guess Salah / Liverpool. And then I'll do an other, just for if there's anyone else that you really want. Okay, you guys can vote on this poll. I've currently got Haaland captain. That's who immediately I thought about this week. Wilson, Dango, Slobosai, if I don't own Ekatike. I would still go Wilson, Dango between them. And it's literally, I can't even decide between them. Okay, what I want to just do quick though is I want to just okay, so Enzo will be Dewsbury Hall, and then Rice. Okay, I just want to put this in place in case I have to do like transfers later on. But I will do transfers in about like 3 minutes. Best Liverpool midfielder target other than Salah, it's Szoboszlai. He's just the only one that I think plays the majority of minutes. Oh, sorry guys. You can't see my team. Have you not been able to see my team the whole time? Sorry, I do apologize for that one. Thanks, Kevin, man, for saying that. That's, okay, Matt. Maybe that's when someone said we can't see your team. I thought they were talking about that. I was still on the projected clean sheets and whatever. What move should I make? Same team as you, except I got Ndai and Pedro. Yeah, so I would do Enzo, Pedro. So only use 2 free transfers for that one. And then it's going to be, I would just skip Ekatike. I would go Pedro to Thiago and Enzo to either Dango or Wilson. So you can copy those moves from what I'm going to do. KDH or Stuck. I like KDH for the Burnley game. Play Munoz or Keane. Munoz. I'm not super confident even if Keane starts. Rodgers is fine. I mean, like Aaron, if you can afford Rodgers, he's fine. He's just not the hot topic at the moment because he's been blanking so much. In terms of captaincy, 75% of you on Haaland, 20% on Bruno. So Bruno is very differential. That's what it does seem like. Should we captain Bruno then? Like, I guess we have to catch up rank. But I do feel like Haaland is an okay option this week. And they play Saturday, Wednesday. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Haaland. A1 is saying, what about Timber to Gabriel? Okay, Timber to Gabriel, it's interesting. Enzo to Wilson and maybe Rice to KDH. I have Haaland and Thiago up front with Konza think I need to get a Liverpool attacker. You don't have to get a Liverpool attacker. I don't know. Timber to Gabriel seems a bit sideways for me. Enzo to Wilson, obviously that's okay. I don't think I would do Rice to KDH unless you want an upgrade, which doesn't seem like you want to do too much of an upgrade. So I would just do the Enzo Wilson move. I think that's the only one that, to me, that looks okay. Dave, if Liverpool in the Champions League, it'll be the most impressive whenever. Yeah, I'd be pretty happy if they do. Start Saar or Fulham Anderson. I'd start Saar and hope for an attacking return. Captain Ekatike. I mean, maybe. He's definitely differential. Need 1.5 to complete the moves. Any replacements brought in? Hall, Anderson, Wilson. Need 1.5 to complete the moves. Any replacements brought in? Okay, Heisenberg, it's a little tough for me to answer. I don't have the full context of your team. But yeah, 1.5 is quite a bit of money to afford. Yeah, let's make the moves though. Okay, I don't even know what I want to go for. Okay, Thiago. So I'm going to take out Enzo for Dewsbury Hall. And then Rice. Okay, is it Wilson or is it Thiago? Terrici saying, I think Spurs are going to win the UCL but get relegated. I mean, imagine that. Do I go for Dango or do I go for Wilson? This is a tough one. Dango or Wilson? Okay, let me just plan my team here quick. Can you guys see this? Okay, let's just do some quick planning here. So Mark Gay is out. Thiago's in. Enzo's out. Let's just say we go for Dango. And then Dewsbury Hall. Okay, so we got Thiago, Dewsbury Hall. Okay, next week. I don't think we do transfers. I don't think we need to do a transfer. Game week 30. Probably don't have to do a move either. Okay, then we've got this team. Would we need to do another transfer? Who would I downgrade though? That's the thing. I guess we could sell Haaland, but he's got so much money in him. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for Dango, and then we can always get Wilson in later. I think we're going to go for Dango. And we're just going to hope for the best. Get TK to Thiago, then both. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to do these moves. I think I'm going to do these transfers. Okay, they're done. I'm just going to upload this team to Discord quick. Then we can do a quick fire round. I've done Enzo to Dango / Wilson. I mean, I've said this, like if you're going to do it for a -4, it would be this week, because on the one hand you have Arsenal, which is like the toughest game for Chelsea, and then you've got the easiest game for Dango, which is Burnley. So it kind of makes sense to me, even if it is a -4. Okay, cool. Let me just upload this. Manage. Okay. Game week 28. Who was it? Gay / Enzo / Rice to Thiago / KDH / and then we went for Dango, right? Okay, cool. Would you take JP? Yes. So 100%. I'd take João Pedro out for Thiago. To me, that just makes sense. We locked in. We are locked in. I'm just posting this to Discord and Twitter. No, not Twitter, to YouTube. And then we can do quick fire rounds. So the last 4 minutes, we can just answer all your guys' questions. Yeah, so like, I mean, Wilson, Dango is so close. But the thing is, I might go for Wilson in game week 31 anyways. Vian, don't say that Thiago's going to play. He might blank because I brought him in. Let's say that. He might blank because I brought him in. So we might have cursed him. But let's see. Play Enzo or Lafi? I'd play Lafi because Lafi's on penalties. Do Indai Pedro? People do KDH as well or no? No, so if you have Pedro in Indai, you do Pedro to Thiago and you do Enzo to Dango or Wilson. So Dango in my case. And then you just leave Ekatike. And then you see what you can do next week. Happy with the bench order? I think the bench order is okay. What would you play, Dewsbury Hall or Anderson? Maybe we can check projected points on them. But I don't think there's too much between them. I mean, Anderson... Yeah, I think this bench order is okay. Jacobus, is it morning for you? Or is it... where are you around the world? Start KDH or DCL? I'd play DCL. Any risky picks that could help? I think Dango's Vian is there. I think Dango's kind of low owned. Shard is also pretty good. I'd say with the fixtures, they look quite good. Tavernier, if he's guaranteed to play, which he should get the majority of minutes, but might be some rotation, he's also pretty good. For Pedro's and Dye owners, what about Rice for Wilson as well as the two other moves you have suggested? It's okay for me. The only thing, Andy, for me is the reason I downgraded Rice is that I feel like Rice gave me that budget to upgrade to Thiago, where is if I didn't have to take out Rice, I might just have kept him and assessed. I don't know. I don't think Rice is a bad option, but I think in isolation when you need money, I think you can take him out. It's just that's what I hope. Like I'm basically saying it's closer in your case. But I think Wilson's a good option, especially because he has Burnley. So if you have the free transfer, you might as well do it in preparation for 31. I think then it's the long play. So don't look at like game week 28 because maybe Rice outperforms Wilson this week. But in the long run, that free transfer will pay off. Even that -4 could pay off. But I don't know if I would do the -4 this week. Maybe just do it next week. But yeah, in your case, I think I would probably do it just because it'll pay off in the long run. But yeah, just don't judge it on one game week though. That's what I'm just saying. Thoughts on getting Soboslai or Dango in full of fee? Yeah, that's also fine. Soboslai should play the 10 this weekend, which will be quite exciting. Play Anderson or Keane. I'd play Anderson. Start Evan Nielsen or Enzo. Evan Nielsen, definitely. Woke up late, scrambling to finish. Who to captain? I'm going for Haaland, Jacobus. But I mean, it's basically Haaland or Bruno Fernandes. If you want to go differential, Bruno's where it's at. And actually, let me just make sure that I do. We have 24 seconds left. Let me just get that TUPD loading. Wilson or Anderson? Wilson. Start one of Anderson and Dye, KDH Van Hecker. I would start in Dye and hope for a penalty. Play in Dye or Anderson? I'd play in Dye because of the penalties. What should I bench be for people who brought in Dango and Thiago but don't have Ekatike? I can't exactly think of your team, but it's probably Gay, Mark Gay on the bench, Keane. Yeah, so it's going to be a 3-5-2, won't it? And I missed TUPD, so you guys were all ahead of me. Even Vianney had the PDTU. Actually, PDTU actually works as well. Who would have thought? That's the genius. So TUPD or PDTU, either one works. But time up, pens down. If you know, you know. That's going to be the Game Week 28 deadline. So we've gone differential with Dango, but I think him and Wilson, it's super close. I just like the Burnley game. I'm hoping that maybe Brentford do some damage here. And let's see what Haaland versus Bruno is another debate. I think Haaland definitely will have the high effective ownership, but I think it's going to be quite close maybe with the engaged managers to see what happens. But I think the team does look good. We have used 3 free transfers though, so it should look good. But I'm going to let you guys get back to your Friday evening, Saturday mornings, Friday afternoons, wherever you guys are around the world, and I'll be catching you guys for a quick turnaround. Game Week 29 is happening next week, midweek, so watch out for that one. And I'll see you guys then, but for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Davey FPL, and I'm out. Cheers.